Hi lovelies, it's Jo from Angels and Ancestors. This is your weekly spiritual reading. I use a little bit of a different layout for the spiritual reading. I tend to use a pentacle to start with, to start it off. Just a few things about next week. I will be doing the weeklies, both general and spiritual. I'll be doing the monthlies, which is the general, spiritual and the September babies for next week. And I'm also going to do a monthly reading on a spread that I devised myself, and it's called the WTF reading. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. It's what the fudge is going on. So I'm going to introduce that as a new monthly spread. I might introduce it as a weekly. I'll see how it goes, see how many hits we get. I'm also kind of teetering on the brink of doing a general daily reading, which will be pulling one card a day, just one card, to get an idea for people about what that day or that 24 hours holds for them. So I'm kind of thinking that I might trial that out this following week. So obviously they will be recorded in the UK, so Tuesdays will be recorded on Monday evening. So I will probably record the very first one this evening, which is Sunday, which will go out for Monday. But I'll make it a bit clearer on the new video. So they're the things that I'm kind of toying with. Like, subscribe, message me. There's email down there. There's my website down there. Go and have a look. I do private readings. And I can do them by Messenger, Skype, Tumblr, however you want to do it. If you live in Essex in the UK, I can do face-to-face readings. I'm also a spiritual medium, and on occasions I read at a place called Plantation Hall the last Friday of the month. A lady called Jeannie Jackson runs the spiritual centre down there and has for many years, and I've been really lucky enough to be taken into the fold and be able to read with some amazing people up there. So let's start the spiritual reading, and we are going to ask the cards for the spiritual issue for the collective for this week coming. Oh, new beginnings. Oh, there's another one come out. So how this affects your emotions is this one. And then we're going to have how it affects your thoughts and just your spiritual thoughts, and how your thoughts may wander away from the good things to rethink about the negative things, and I'm one of the biggest culprits of that. So let's see, let's have a card. Thank you. Oh, not so much this month. Wow, I like this. So something that spiritually, not physically, spiritually, you may have to leave behind. Something spiritually that you may have to leave behind. Okay. Oh, two things. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to move this out of the way slightly because I need the point up the top, which is this is your spiritual aspiration. It's at the top of the pentacles, so your spiritual aspiration. Let's bring those down onto the points, because that's the whole point of having a pentacle in the middle of the table. So this is everything. This is about your thoughts, your feelings collectively. and what's in your heart spiritually. What's in your heart? Where do you want to take this? Where are you? How you're feeling about it generally? Okay. Oh, okay. Right. I'm going to put him on there for a minute. I do love this crystal. It's one of my favourites, but it gets loose bits and every time I pick it up another piece falls off. Right. Let's forget about crystals for a minute and get ready with the reading. So, this issue, the issue of your spirituality, something that you feel is going on. You've got the Ace of Wands, which is new beginnings. I'm going to say for this reading, it's magical. It's a magical beginning, but you always feel like you're beginning it. You're always feeling like it's a beginning, that you're always learning something, which isn't a bad thing. Learning something new every day is fabulous, especially in the magical realms, because it means that you're not complacent. It means that you're ready and eager to see that there are differences and you're ready to accept them. Now, I heard from the angels earlier and I didn't understand the message, but I clearly got from them that it doesn't matter where you start. You don't have to start in the beginning. So long as you capture everything in the end of everything that you want to do and you collectively gather everything up, you can start where you like. You can start at the end and work your way back if you want to. Difficult way of doing it, I think. And I would get mightily confused. But the angels are clearly saying, yes, you are always beginning new. You are always going to feel that you're starting something fresh, but that's no bad thing. You've got the magical wand in your hand. Use it. Use it collectively, use it individually, and gather your thoughts and feelings. And they're telling me, note it down. Note everything down. Book of Shadows, notebook, doesn't matter what it is. Get it written down. So yes, you are feeling like new beginnings, and in this energy that we've just and some of us are still playing out quite strongly, we've all felt this massive shift of this new energy that's come in, that the planet, the vibration, everything has just lifted immensely, and it means for a lot of us that we are moving on to new things, to better things, to the spiritual side of us is blossoming. And the only way that I can kind of relate to that for myself is like a rose in the garden. You get this beautiful little bud, and then all of a sudden it opens and it's a completely different colour. And I have one like that in the garden, and the bud is a pale pink, and when it opens into the most beautiful white rose. And that's the feeling that I get, is that we're all of us collectively blooming under this energy. So we're going to go to how this affects your emotions, how you're feeling at the moment spiritually. And spiritually, you've got the Three of Wands, and this is usually around business and overseas, but I clearly got that you're yearning or longing to do some travel. You're yearning or longing to reconnect with the people you've already connected with abroad. And this may well be business. This may well be people that you have met and find that you are in tune with them, and that you want to do more things with them, not just around business but for your own personal use as well. So yeah, collectively I'm getting the feeling that people are kind of yearning, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's overseas. I don't know why, but for the last week I've had Scotland stuck in my head massively, and wanting to go up there and kind of explore. So it doesn't have to be overseas, it can be within your own country, but it is that thought of travel, it's that thought of needing to move on spiritually that I feel is quite predominant in the collective's psyche at the moment, in your feelings at the moment, is that that's what you need to be doing. You need to be exploring, you need to be going out and travelling. So in your thoughts, your head issues spiritually, I'm kind of like one of those people that I do really well and I manifest things really well, and then all of a sudden in the car I find myself thinking about something really negative, something that's happened a long time ago, and I have to snap myself out of it and go, no, let it go with love and peace, let it go to the universe, let the angels sort it out, I'm going to come back over here. But for the collective at the moment, we've got the 10 of Pentacles, and it says that at the moment collectively lots of people are celebrating families, lots of people are celebrating being together and having abundance around you. Now, abundance doesn't necessarily mean money, although it helps. It can be abundance of love, it can be abundance of business, it can be abundance of all sorts of different things. And because this is a spiritual reading, I get the feeling that the family collectively for a lot of you is very spiritual and very traditional in their thoughts and feelings, and this is not wrong. Nothing that you do spiritually is ever wrong. But be true to yourselves in your celebrations, be true to what it is that you feel. There's generations here. There's 4 generations here, and it's showing 3 generations even. No, yeah, 3 generations. And, you know, the kingfisher goes fishing for that extra piece of food out of the water, and he's always on alert for something else, for something new to learn. And I just feel spiritually things are coming together for the collective really nicely. And for those of you that aren't quite there yet and you're still exploring, and you're a bit like me, you get a bit negative at times, all of us want this. This is all of us would love this to happen. We would love to bring those people together that have distanced themselves from us. We would all love it to be harmonious. However, unless we're manifesting in the right way and we're leaving the negative behind, our manifestations are then marred and flawed. So we need to do it in purity and in love. And I don't mean purity as in the Christian purity, I mean purity as in pure thoughts and feelings of heart, spirit, mind, body and soul, all of that sort of stuff. So that's what that is. That's a really nice card actually to have in that position. So what you may need to leave behind spiritually, talk about negatives. Here we have a negative, purposely spilling something out. Somebody's thrown their teddy in the corner. Somebody has got the ump and they have spilt these cups on purpose. This person needs to be left behind for all of us. That's that one person that is the Debbie Downer, that one person that is the person that is jealous or not happy with what we're doing, or they're on a similar path, not a same path, similar path, but they are actually frowning upon your pathway and they're pouring the cups out because they are feeling disgruntled about something. So that is actually what you possibly need to leave behind. Doesn't matter if it's a family member or, you know, if it's a friend or a colleague, you know, kind of distance yourself from that. You don't need that kind of vibrational air. And I do get the feeling from the reading that the vibration is raising, and to raise that further we do need to leave low vibrational issues behind us. The other thing that it's saying that we need to leave behind us is a new beginning. So some of us have had some form of new beginning, and the Athames are messages, they are coming through as new, and it's usually around business. So I don't know if the collective generally are kind of thinking that what they're doing is what they don't want to do, or if there's something else out there that you want to explore. For a long time I'd given up on the idea of carrying on with my current career, and something shifted in me around the Lion Gate, and I have decided for the first time in my life to actually finish something, which is huge for me. It's massive. So I don't know if other people are kind of thinking that there's this wonderful new beginning, which I've had. I have delayed that wonderful new beginning in order to finish something else. So it may be that that is what they're telling the collective. You may have to put something on hold for a while in order to finish something to bring something really great to fruition that you can't see, that you aren't aware of yet, but it is there. So, in your spirit and everything that makes you and everything that has kind of created this reading is the Six of Chalices. I love this card, and it's all about reminiscing for simpler times, reminiscing about picnics and going out into the country or to the beach with mum and dad, or even nan and granddad for some of us. And it's talking to people about your similarities or your differences and bringing that together collectively. It's a walk down memory lane, but it's also telling us not to let go of that. We need to be building these kind of memories for our children and for our friends' children and the neighbourhood children. And we really do need spiritually to get back to simpler times. And I know from a lot of my friends, they are jumping off the mortgage ladder, they are jumping off the 9-to-5 grind in search of this simpler time that they had. And as children, we can idealise and not see what our parents were putting up with at the time we were growing up. But it's capturing that and being sensible about that. We still have to pay the bills, we still have to face reality, but in our spare time, in our spiritual time, these are the places in our heads that we need to visit. Especially if you had issues when you were growing up, it's working through those and making sure that the negative times don't outweigh the positive times. So in the middle we have the Nine of Wands, and this is in your heart spiritually. And for some, I'm getting there's two different sides of this coin. These wands are telling me two different stories. One is telling me that someone or some of you are being overprotective about what you're doing, and in actual fact you're cutting yourself off from advice and wisdom that may help you push along a bit further. And then there's the other side of you that are feeling, I don't want to use the word secretive because that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm getting the feeling that you want to protect yourself, that some of you are feeling under spiritual attack or psychic attack, which would bring me back to this card. And in this you've got the need to not just protect yourself, but to protect what it is you're doing, what you're moving on to. This particular card where the cups are being spilt purposefully, and emptying a cup out in such a way can make you feel like you need to be overprotective, to be on your guard against elements, because you're not sure where this is coming from. But in doing that, in having that feeling, you are not putting yourself out there, you are not getting the wisdom of other people's knowledge, you're not getting the benefit of all of that could be in your life and helping you move along spiritually. I mean, this is such a beautiful reading, and I don't want it to end on a negative, but collectively I am getting the feeling that you're overprotecting yourselves, and it is stopping you from getting to that 10, and that's where you need to be. You need to be at that 10 where you're putting down other people's burdens and you're putting away issues that no longer serve you, so that you can get to the top of the hill quite successfully. Those of you that are overprotecting this for some reason, I don't know if you feel like something's going to be stolen, some accolade is going to be taken away from you, keep in mind the people that have already given you advice. Keep in mind the people that have already helped you get to where you are, because they in turn are not getting their chance to celebrate with you what you've already achieved. So the 9 can be a 10. Let's see if we can push it on to that. So I'm just looking at the cards, and because this is a spiritual reading, I'm going to pull these down just a little bit so I can put that crystal back where it should be. Right, so I am going to do, am I going to go there? No, I'm not. I'm going to go to Gaia first. I'm going to be asking for some guidance from Gaia with regards to the spiritual reading for this week for the collective. I have a card for a spiritual reading for this week for the collective, please. Oh, quite a few drops out there. So we have Ganesha, clearing away obstacles, protection and guidance. So that kind of runs in line with your 9 of Wands. You have purification, and we pulled this out last night. It's the bare essentials, the naked truth, the wholeness. Having to face yourself and telling your truth to yourself is not an admission to anybody else. It is facing you. It is being able to live with you. The Tree of Life. Fertility, creativity, destiny, magical blessings. I mean, this, I love this card. There's 2 cards in here that I absolutely adore. It's got all the symbols up the tree trunk. It means that collectively we can bring things together. We can work together spiritually no matter where we are. We can create this energy together collectively. And the magical blessings that will come from that are immense. This is the rising above. This is clarity, it's freedom, it's solution. So it's looking at issues from a higher level, from up above. The dove is flying up to see what the bigger picture is. And when you raise up vibrationally, spiritually, and you're ascending, you can then see how things are playing out, and how things are supposed to play out for you. But you get clarity, and the clarity can sometimes be quite shocking, and sometimes it can just be awe-inspiring. So that's a lovely card to be getting for this reading. I am now going to go to the Archangels. I don't know why I didn't get the feeling that I wanted them just now, but I think they were kind of waiting for that from Gaia. So from Gaia, from the 4 cards, it is telling us get together collectively, whether we do it physically, whether we do it mentally, whether we do it through social media. It's saying, you know, we need to be doing this together, but in order to do this and get the planet's vibration raised together and leave lower vibration behind, we need to face ourselves and be true to ourselves. So I'm just asking the Archangels for some advice for this spiritual reading. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Ariel, and this says it's your lucky day. New resources of money, time, support, a change in job or promotion. And what were we just saying about travel, about the spillage, about what, feeling that you're kind of closing off and needing to be working collectively? It's all in the pipeline. This new beginning is there if you want it. So the second advice from the angels is time for celebration, abundant rewards for hard work. Release your burdensome situations. What was I just saying about the 9? Make it a 10 so that you can put down those burdens that other people give to you, the vibrations that are lower than where you are at the moment, need to be left behind. So when you're dealing with other people and they just want to keep arguing, they just want to keep arguing the point, they've just got the ump about everything, state your story, state your position, and then walk away. Don't keep repeating it. Just put it out to the universe for it to be dealt with elsewhere. So I am going to now, I'm going to skip the angels for a minute and let's see if the fairies have got a tale to tell. Oh, obviously they have. Anything else? Okay, well that came out pretty quickly, didn't it? Marriage. So we pulled the fairies card, marriage. The fairies join you in celebrating wedded bliss. So for some of you, there is going to be a marriage out there. There is going to be happy families. Marriage doesn't also have to be a physical marriage between two people. It can be a spiritual marriage between spirituality and the material world, and it's bringing it together in balance. So don't get hung up on the marriage of two people. It can be the marriage of other things coming together for you. So I'm going to do a Blessed Be card. And the marriage card as well, spiritually, it is the highest point that two people can be together in all realms, in the physical, in the mental, in the spiritual, and in that realm they can just produce such magic together. But as I say, the spiritual side coming together with the material side, or the emotional side marrying up with the psyche. There's lots and lots of marriages that you can kind of think of that can happen in the magic realm. So just keep an eye on that. So, blessing card. We have a blessing to ease loneliness and bring companionship. So those of you that are feeling lonely, that are on your own, companionship is on its way. For those of you that are already in relationships but are feeling lonely within your relationships, that may well change, and you may well feel that the people that you are around are noticing you a bit more than they have done in the past. And I don't know why, but I have just been given the name Ellie. I don't know what it means. I don't know who that's for. But I'm being given the name Ellie. Now, that could be a name on its own. It could be short for Ellen or Helen. But I'm definitely getting the name Ellie. And they just told me to chuck it out there. So I just don't know where that's come from. So I am going to go to the angels now. And I'm going to ask the angels if they have anything to add before we go to the Gaia dreams. That's it. Okay, so we have success. So what you put your heart to spiritually, it's going to be successful. Of course it is. We're all working on this wonderful energy at the moment, and the leftover energies that are still around us. And it's up to us. It's up to us whether we keep those energies going and whether we're positive or negative. But whatever you put out there in positive realms, it's going to be successful. So, you know, hold on to that. That's a beautiful card. And receptivity, being receptive to ideas, thoughts and feelings, not just of other people, but those thoughts that pop in your head and you think, where the hell did that come from? don't question it, or try. I've questioned it for a long time, and this last 6 months I've made a conscious decision not to question, like throwing out the name Ellie just now. I don't question it any longer. I sometimes I say I don't know where that come from, but you know, this is what they're saying to me. I don't question who gave it to me. I don't question if it's just something I've made up in my head, because I know it's not. I know that that is something that somebody out there needed to hear. They needed to hear from Ellie, and it was around this gift of blessing to ease loneliness and bring companionship. So receptivity, you know, accept what you can, leave the rest. So we're going to go to Gaia, and we're just going to ask the Dreams of Gaia deck if there is any dreams out there that we need to be made. Oh, that one again. Okay. That we need to be made. I mean, I have diffused these cards. I have shuffled them. I have done all sorts of things to them. And that card has fallen out again. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that we need to spiritually tell the collective? And spiritually tell the collective. Okay, we have the Five of Water. And this guy, I absolutely love this guy. When you kind of understand who he is and what he is, it kind of brings the reading together a little bit. And what Gaia is telling us, that in our dreams we are dreaming of perfection, and when he looks in the mirror he doesn't see his scars, he sees beauty. He sees beauty without and from within. And I think what Gaia's trying to say to us is, collectively, we need to get that out of our dreams and start living that life. We need to have the dream that we are beautiful, each individual one of us. We are beautiful inside and out, and we don't need a magic mirror to show that. We can show that face to the world. We can pick our heads up and look people in the eye, and we can smile at people, and it will be fine. Spiritually speaking, he has got no doubt in his head his true beauty and his true worth, and collectively I think we all need to, without getting big-headed, is understand our beauty and our true worth. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. That's a really nice card to be finishing on. Hope you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, share, message, whatever. And next week, as I say, there is going to be the weekly spiritual in general, the monthly spiritual in general, the September baby reading, and I'm going to try and do a daily card reading. For some of you it will resonate, some of you won't. They are general readings, so take what you can, leave the rest behind. And also I'm going to next weekend, as a special, do this WTF reading that I devised myself for the collective to see. It has worked really well for people, and basically it's to show you what is going on with you, what is happening with you that is blocking you spiritually. So have a great week. Love you lots. Thanks so much for watching. Blessed be. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.